When I was in final year of my college, I actually completed my engineering in the year 2020. I am an electronics and communication graduate. So from that time, when I was in final year, I knew that management business was the field I am inclined towards, and I want to build a career in it. Marketing personally interested me a lot, and I was inclined towards it. So that was the reason I decided to go for CAT, and 2020 was my first attempt. So with 3 months of preparation, I gave my first attempt, and it did not end good because I couldn't practice that much, and also I gave lesser number of mocks. So then I had this within me that I have to get a better score and get better converts, because I had converts last year as well, but they were not as good. So I wanted to go to the top colleges, get a better percentile, and that is why I decided to take another attempt at CAT. So I practiced every question that I practiced with you only, because you provided us ample material to practice with. There were past year CAT papers, previous year mocks, and your material, because that was more than enough to solve. So these were the material that I used for practice. Besides this, in QA, I used the round strategy, wherein we knew beforehand that it was going to be a 40-minute section. So I dedicated round 1 25-minute duration total, and then round 2 a 15-minute duration. So in round 1, I tried to target as many as I can, but if to give a number, it would be somewhere around 9 to 10 questions for round 1, and whatever was left, I would look at it at round 2. So in round 1, I would attempt the questions that I thought I would be able to do within a duration of 1.5 to 2 minutes, under 1.5 to 2 minutes. So that was the strategy for quants, and as I mentioned, I took daily life classes from you and practiced from there only, and then mocks. In DILR, for the material, I took the live classes with you. I did the daily DIR live, which happened at 4 p.m. during our time, and also the past year mocks, because the sets we get for DILR and mocks, they are usually a level tougher than that comes in actual exam. So for that reason, I also practiced from past year CAT paper, just to see that I'm going in the right direction, and this is the level of difficulty that actually comes in the exam. VARC, sir, was my weakest section. I just scored a 73 in CAT 2020. This year it was 98. So for VARC, what I would suggest to someone who's just starting, first of all, focus on the RC, because RC comprises of 70% of the whole section. So the very first thing would be to get done with that section and get a hold of RC. And in RC, and here I'm not saying that we should completely neglect the VA section, because it is equally important to score marks in that section. 3 marks and a single question of VA matters a lot. So you have to come to that and practice VA as well. The para summaries that are there, para jumbles and odd one out, we need to practice these as well. And in RC, what I implemented was, instead of selecting the right answer, I focused on eliminating the wrong options that were there. So this was something that improved my score drastically from the attempt at CAT 2020 to this attempt. I focused on eliminating the wrong choices, because it would give an idea of how I was thinking when I was solving the sets. So I could even correct my thought process if I went wrong somewhere, or if I saw that this is the wrong answer and now I'm not scoring well in mocks. So I would have an idea of my strategy, and I could tweak it that way. I'm a graduate in electronics and communication engineering. I graduated in the year 2020. I have 89% in class 10th, 92 in class 12th, 82 in my graduation in BTech. So this is my academics. Besides that, I have worked for a total duration of 11 months in 2 different industries. So I have 8 months of working experience in a semiconductor chip solutions company, and another 3 months in an advertisement and performance marketing firm. So this was my profile. If someone wants to build the profile, he or she should look for certifications in the field that he or she is inclined towards. Let's say a person is inclined towards finance, then he or she should look towards the CFA exam that is there. Or if someone is interested in marketing or product management, then there are certifications respectively for those fields. But that is not the main concern. A person or a student should first dedicate time to score well in the exam, because that is the main criteria. This thing will come later on, and we still would be having around 2 months of time after the exam to build our profile. And profile is important, because if person is a fresher, so he or she will be asked this question, that why you are inclined towards a particular field. Then to defend this answer, he or she should be having certifications to tell that this is the field of interest because I have done so and so work in this field, and that is why I can say that I would like to take up this field when I come to college in future. So this it is important to some extent, but then scoring marks is the first thing that is there. And talking about my experience, so since I had WorkX in 2 different fields, and chip shortage was a very hot topic at that point of time, and I'm from electronics and communication background only, so I had to study that thing. I had to study the advertisement and digital marketing thing as well. So you need to know yourself in and out. You have to why you want to do MBA, which particular field interests you the most. You have to answer behavioral questions like this. So you have to know yourself for the interview. That is the thing. And everything you have studied in undergrad, that is also important, especially for IIM Calcutta, because they ask maths question as well. So you need to brush up on that also. As you said कि पूरा syllabus करना चाहिए, because you don't know difficult questions, they come from which section you don't know, and in the paper to score well you have to attempt the easy and the moderate question. You will never be looking at those difficult questions that are there in the exam, no matter how many difficult questions you are trying to solve at this moment. So you have to attempt the complete syllabus, but start with arithmetic, because arithmetic is something that covers 40 to 50% of the syllabus. So that is the major chunk, and that needs to be get done first. And towards the end, you need to pick geometry and number system, because they are topics which require a large amount of time. So after arithmetic, you can go for algebra, and then probably come towards modern maths, and then geometry and number system. So this should be the sequence, and no topic should be left for the exam. I would say past year mock papers and then past year CAT paper. Even if you don't get the time to look at the past year mocks, you should definitely look at the past year CAT papers, because there were some questions from which concept came directly as it is in the past years. So that is extremely important. And besides that, if you have enough time, then you can go for past year sets also. There is ample amount of material for DILR. I attempted mocks from 2 different sources. I attempted a total of 28 mocks during this journey. The lowest I've scored was 33 percentile in the month of October, and the highest I've scored was in the 90s range, around 95 percentile. So for mocks, seeing my own results, and they were fluctuating, because mock results are actually fluctuating because we try to implement a new strategy every time we are giving a mock. So scores were very fluctuating for me. I used to stay majorly in the 80s percentile range. So from this, I would say that mocks, because I've seen the paper as well for 2 different years. So mocks are not the actual reflection of how the paper is going to be. Mock is deliberately made tougher so that when you go to the paper, actual paper, you find it a bit easier and you are comfortable there. That is why mocks are made tougher. So mocks are no reflection, and there is no need to get disheartened by the score, because even I never scored 99 in mocks, but I believe that I could score 99 because I knew the complete syllabus. I had practiced enough. So you need to believe in yourself even when you get low mock scores, and analyzing the mocks is important. Coming to the approaches that I learned from your class, the first one is when we attempted the question and when we were solving quants, we never looked at the formula. We tried to create new strategies always when we were solving questions. So that is something I found really great, because we didn't have to mug up any formula for solving it. We solved it logically only. So that was a really nice strategy. And in this 1 year, I tried to learn your strategy to solve questions the way you are solving them. And that's the reason I've scored so great in quants, because I didn't mug up anything and I solved it logically. So this is the first thing I learned from the class from you. Then the important thing is consistency. So a person needs to be very consistent if they need to see good results and good scores in mocks as well. मैंने कभी खुद प्रिपरेशन में डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं किए, क्योंकि अगर डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं करते हैं तो इट इवेंचुअली disheartens you that you were not able to solve this question. So I solved the basic to moderate question and sometimes the difficult question that we were doing in your class, but they were not something new in terms of concept. We were implementing the same old concept, but I never focused on solving the difficult question. Personally, I never looked at the difficult question. You are not going to look those difficult question even in the exam, even in the mocks, so why to waste time solving them? If you have ample amount of time, if you are already done with your basic and moderate level question, and you want to solve those difficult questions, then you can go for it. But if someone is a beginner, then they should stick to the basic and moderate level questions only.